Hello guys, this is Rob. This is gonna be another commentary video. The fight ahead is a solo fight in a hurricane. The fit I'm running is a brawling fit. In fact, it has a scram, a micro warp, a nimble, and an next large ASB in the mids. The lows are a nano, a damage control 2, a copro 2, and 3 gyros. The highs are a small newt and then 4 225 millimeters autocannons and two 425 autocannons. The rigs are an EM resist rig, a thermal resist rig, and auxiliary thrusters, which is a speed rig. So the idea behind this fit is to give the Hurricane as much speed as you can possibly can while keeping your damage high. This will mean your objective will be hopefully to be fast enough to drag something off from the rest of the opposing gang, far enough that you can then dive right back into it and brawl it down while scramming it and doing kind of a high damage for an extra SB fit, which is 650 without heat, as you can see, and 100 more, 760 with heat. The weakness of this fit is, of course, as any X-Large SB fit, that it has smaller guns, so really low range and no tracking enhancers. So you're pretty much committed to be brawling in this ship. But it's also pretty fast. It's 1500 meters per second without heat and 2100 with heat. So this is the fit. The Firehead is a Firehead in Sub-Nullsec. The local count in the system I'm hanging out in is pretty low. 4 people besides me. But the only thing that they showed up on scan is just a Yugen, a Lachesis, and a Vulture. Now, before this clip start, I messed around with these guys for quite a bit, and the only thing they did is to keep Yugen and Lachesis on a gate, and the Vulture is in a pause. So my plan is to hopefully kill at least one of these recon ships, and what I'm thinking is that they're probably not alone, and they will have some kind of DPS support with them, being it the Vulture or something else. But the thing I must be aware of is that I cannot really. I have to give myself a gate to work with, like almost certainly, because they're both. In pair, they're really dangerous for me. If I get myself into a place where I have no exit, because they are really good at keeping stuff held in place, double webbed and pointed, and well outside my them being well outside my damage range. So I messed up a lot in this engagement, because before this clip starts I actually figure out that they're totally unwilling to get anywhere other than that gate they're actually sitting at, so they're not willing to come to me to another gate. So I walk to this gate at 0, the gate you'll see in the clip, and first mistake is almost a blind warp for me, because I have them on scan on that gate, but I don't have bubbles on my overview. That's a big mistake on my part. So I land on the gate 70 off because I'm caught in a bubble, and that's pretty much the worst position I can be at. But luckily enough for me, they're well far off, so I can warp off. What I'm trying to do when this clip actually starts is to do the only thing that will allow me to have a shot at killing at least one of them before anything else shows up, which is to warp to that same gate from a Celestial that I think will put me close to them when I come out of warp. So that's what I'm about to do when the clip starts, and I'll start it right now. So, but I mess up, as I said, because I picked the wrong Celestial and I don't land close to them at all. So as soon as I land, I try to align out or pop and try again or work something out, because in this position I'm really in a bad spot. I mean, the Lachesis has an overheated point with a key to fit of 50 km, and is starting to burn for me, as you can see. So I'm kind of panicking. I mean, I'm pretty confused right now. I'm trying to get out of bubbles in order to warp, but I can't quite do that. And as you can see, they'll start tackling me in a second. And I mean, they can, if the situation stays as it is, I'm pretty much cooked. I mean, they can hold me from 50k and I cannot go anywhere. I'm well off the gate, 40 off, and I'll be double webbed in a second. There it is. But now the Lachesis keeps burning for me. This is a huge mistake on his part. So I overhit my micro warp and burn towards him as well, you know, hoping that he will not stop, and it doesn't. So I'm able to land a scram on him and shooting him. Well, my invuln stays off for some reason because I'm stupid, and I'm shooting also the wrong type of ammo. I'm shooting phase plasma and thermal damage, which is what it deals. It is second highest resist. I should be shooting EMP, of course, but is pretty tanky, so I'm kind of worried at this point. I'm also waiting to see a DPS ship show up on grid any second here, but nothing comes out of warp on this gate, luckily for me. And but the Lachesis is scrammed by me, but I'm also scrammed by him, so he's starting to pull range, and he will eventually slide out of my scram range because I'm double webbed, so he's much faster than me. I'm doing 90 meters per second, he's doing 230. So, and he's not even close to dying right about now. So, and I'm also using most of the charges in my ASB. Another important thing that will happen in a sec is that I have my auto reload off my ASB. This will mean it will keep running as long as I have cap. So I'll get 2 more cycles out of it, even if I am out of charges. What I'm also about to do now is to switch ammo to barrage, because I have 11k optimal with short range ammo, and I'm doing really low damage, as you can see here. So the only hope I have is to keep plinging away with barrage, even if he slides out of point range, and hopefully kill him before he enters warp. But this is not quite what happens. He stays inside point range, but I'm doing more damage at that range with barrage anyway, so that's a good call for me. I also almost burned out all my guns. I have 97% damage when the fight ends. Now you can see my SB reloading because I didn't have enough cap to run it, but the Lachesis is going down. The Hugin is also pretty close, so I think I might have a good chance at putting a tackle on him when the Lachesis goes down. But he is quite smart. I mean, at this point he pulls range. I didn't overheat my scram, so he gets out pretty much, and he's pretty much safe. But so am I, because I'm just webbed right now. So I'll just pull some range and realize I'm pretty much safe, so I line out and warp off. My invuln just burned. So here I am, pretty safe. To be fair, I should have lost this engagement just with these 2 ships on grid. I mean, they did a pretty huge mistake. They should have been able to keep me there. They had, at least the Lachesis had 200mm railguns, and he was doing quite a bit of damage, enough at least to kill me before my next reload. But he did a huge mistake, so the rapier, so the Hugin. So I got a kill where I shouldn't have had, in my opinion. But that was a pretty cool fight, and I hope you liked it or learned something from it. See you guys next time.